recent earnings report from Airbnb shows a massive drop in their profits, and their stock price also fell by a whopping 21% over this past 6 months. Now, this is a major sign that the new laws that are banning residential Airbnbs are having a significant impact on the local housing markets all over the United States. Now, Airbnb, the whole idea of short-term rentals, that really seemed like a fantastic idea in the beginning. Because not only was it cheaper than traditional hotels, but as a homeowner, you can also have a great way to earn extra bucks out of that extra living space, or even if you had a second home. So over time, many started to see significant downside of the impact on residential neighborhoods, the rising home prices, the rising insurance costs, and what's going on in the current housing market. Now, many on all sides are starting to be hurt. That's why I'm doing this video. It's to educate the public and tell the truth about what's really going on. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now, I'm Jerry Pincus, your real estate expert. And in this video, I'm going to discuss the collapse of short-term rental market and its impact on the real estate market. So how do I know this? Because I've been in the short-term rental business for over the past 25 years. And my real estate team and I know this like the back of our hands. Now, this is a big topic and it's been in the news. The concept of short-term rentals benefits both the hosts and the guests. The hosts can be local owners or managers and earn extra income by renting out their properties, and their guests to find affordable home accommodations. And sometimes those accommodations may even be nicer than the regular ones. They're in popular destinations, which can be cheaper than hotels. However, Airbnb and VRBO markets started to decline soon, and they're likely to continue to crash over the next couple years. Now, here are 7 reasons behind this. So here they are in descending order. Number 7, short-term rentals as a business of cash flow. Now, firstly, short-term rental income market is a business. It is real estate, but it's also a business, because as an owner, this means that you're not only investing in a piece of real estate property, but you're also in the business of renting it out. So when you rent out your property on platforms like Airbnb, you're actually operating a small hotel, and you're taking on all the risks of that investment as well. Now, if someone's getting hurt on that property, it's a liability, right? Managing the cleaning, all that maintenance, the local real estate market shift, all the laws that are changing, this can either help you for rent or hurt you. The number of nights that are rented, or even your business, it could fail over at any time. But if demand drops, operating costs rise, property problems arise, this can affect your business and eventually your profit. Number 6, high rental costs. Now, the increase in cost is the reason why so many people have stopped using Airbnb and similar platforms like VRBO. Look, when Airbnb first came out, it was a great way to find affordable places to stay. And people could rent out their spare rooms in their homes for a little bit extra money. But it was a great option for travelers on a budget as well, because over the years, things have changed a lot. It's not the same as it used to be, because the fees on your property to list on VRBO or Airbnb have doubled or even tripled, and that massively cuts into your profits. And also, Airbnb has shifted from a budget-friendly option to a premium experience. Now, what used to be a way to find affordable accommodations has become an expensive option over time. Now, platforms like Airbnb are no longer limited to people who want to rent out a room. Rather, these options are for luxury homes with pools that are for short-term rent. Now, many people buy houses just to rent them out on the short term. Not only are these properties getting rented more and they're more expensive, but local jurisdictions are now enacting laws that can limit that type of use that these properties will allow. No nightly or weekly rentals, only 90 days or more. And they're limiting in that to areas where these rentals are actually allowed. For example, you can rent here on the beach a short term, but you can go back a few blocks and you can only rent for long term. When people vacation, they want to be in certain areas, especially in popular tourist destinations around the United States. Now, one of the main reasons behind that is because many hosts have turned Airbnb into a full-time business. It's all about return on investment though, guys. Short-term rentals are often rented out at higher prices than a long-term rental. And they also started investing in property management marketing and other amenities to attract these higher paying guests. All these costs can add to the overall cost of booking, driving the prices higher for many guests. Now, this whole situation has reached a point where people are going back to traditional hotel listings. Why? Because they can go ahead and search, and sometimes they can find a better deal. Number 5, rising maintenance costs. Now, Airbnb is not free to use. The hosts who rent their homes out to the people who stay there must pay fees. The hosts rent out their homes, pay a fee for each booking. And people who stay there, they'll pay fees for cleaning and other services. Plus, when you rent out a home on Airbnb, you still have to pay for the maintenance of that house. It's not free, even if there's no one staying there. So if you're a homeowner and your home stays empty for a long time, hosts can actually lose money. As a homeowner, you must still pay taxes and bills, even if no one rents that property. These costs can really add up quickly, especially if your demand for your house starts to slow down. Now, all of these costs have made it a lot harder, and many hosts have actually left the Airbnb platform because the costs are way more money than they actually could bring in. Number 4, an oversaturated market. Look, we all know about supply and demand. Many who jumped into Airbnb because they saw this profitable business model in the earlier days. And this resulted in an oversaturated market where there's too many options to rent. So the same demand and more supply to the market, you know what happens. It used to be a cool new idea when you have lots of places to choose from. But some owners had to lower their prices just to keep them booked. So even if their place is really super nice, it can take a whole lot of work to stand out from the crowd in all the other competition that you may have for that rental. And all of this has made it harder for some hosts to actually make a profit. That's why they can't do this anymore. They may have to spend more money on marketing just to attract those guests, because this cleaning and the maintaining of the house, it always involves some sort of an expense. And many hosts, they started spending a lot more money than they were actually bringing in. So you know what happens. As a result, some of these hosts, they had to sell their properties. They just can't afford to keep this thing going. Number 3, the economy. Now, this runaway inflation over the past 4 years has had an economic impact on many people who just can't afford to travel anymore. As the economy slows down, people are actually cutting back on their discretionary expenses. And this too has led to lower occupancy rates for Airbnb hosts, making it more difficult to maintain those solid rental income numbers. So as a result, many hosts had a decline in their earnings. I've had many conversations with Florida homeowners who are renting out their condo or their house through Airbnb, and some of them are experiencing some significant financial losses. Number 2 is the negative impact on the rental market, because in a rising cost of an Airbnb has affected the rental market as well. This is bad news for people who are trying to find affordable housing, especially in popular areas, because the more properties that are rented out on Airbnb for short-term stays, there's fewer long-term rentals that are available in the desirable areas. This is especially true in some big cities where the demand is super high. So landlords can charge higher rents for a vacation rental than they could get for an actual long-term rental. In some markets, finding a decent, affordable long-term rental, it's tough, especially if you have to compete with tourists and travelers who are willing to pay much more higher prices for that same exact home. Number 1, vacation rentals and cash flow. I think this is the important one, guys. I've been in the short-term rental business for the last 25 years, and I personally have owned oceanfront condos, single-family homes, pet-friendly rentals, and all sorts of vacation properties. And I still own vacation rentals, but I no longer manage my own properties. I've let someone else do that. But there are several things that you really need to know. Even though it's not what you want to hear, this is the truth. I'm just going to tell it like it is. A, if you're managing your own property, it's a job and it's a lot of work. B, if you hire someone else to manage your property and you're not doing the work yourself, you're going to pay for this service. And C, short-term rentals can be great to own over the long term, but don't expect massive cash flow, especially if you're not paying cash in full and you're trying to finance your place. And D, you can have someone help pay for your place at the beach while you're not using it. And then when it's time for your vacation, you've got your own place at the beach. And maybe when you retire, you'll move to your place at the beach and someone else will help you pay for it. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, go ahead and post your comments below or share this with someone you know who could actually use this helpful information. I'm Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. My real estate team, it's here to help you to find your hidden gem and to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a property here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or anywhere in the United States, I can hook you up with the local expert. Just give us a call at 843-839-9870. My team has helped thousands and thousands of people, and we want to ensure that you avoid those pitfalls that are costly as well. There's over 1,400 super helpful videos here on this channel. So until next time, stay happy, stay educated, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.